What's up, y'all? This is Coach Luis Monda down here at Real Boxing Gym in Las Vegas, Nevada. So this is my next installment of the series that I have that I call From Coach to Coach. So again, this is aimed at other coaches. It doesn't matter what sport you are. I just kind of like to put something out there for my peers. So what I want to discuss today is honesty always being the best policy. Now, I had always kind of had this underlying thought when I got into coaching, when I first ever got into coaching, because what I did as a boxing coach is not very common nowadays, in that I followed a lot of other coaches around. For 2 years, when we were over at Johnny Toko's, I was the manager of the gym. So when I would go to amateur fights or when I would just hang around in the gym, I was often just kind of there in the corner, listening and learning and picking up things on coaching from the existing coaches. So kind of like an apprenticeship. This helped me really form my own identity. But I remember there was a particular coach who told me that he would say things to his fighter that he knew weren't true, and that he kind of knew that the fighter would know weren't true. He would say something like, when I see that they're getting tired, I tell them, you're not getting tired, you're getting stronger, you're getting faster, basically kind of denying what was happening to the fighter and telling them that that's not what was going on. And he would, he looked me right in my face and was like, and a lot of times they'll believe it, so they'll perform better. And I always thought that was not a good practice. I was very thrown off by that, because I thought, if I'm in that situation and I'm getting beat up and I'm tired, why would you tell me I'm not? That doesn't make much sense to me. I know I am. I feel I am. I want to know what to do about it. Or what I can do. What are my options? I don't want to delude myself into thinking that something that's happening to me isn't happening to me. I don't see how that helps. Now, at the time, I kind of just chalked it up to, well, that's just one place where we differ. He believes in doing that. I don't believe in doing that. I'm not going to do that. But I didn't view it as tentatively toxic behavior until years later, when you see the effects of it, or when you see a kid resist. Now, contrast that with one of my favorite films and stories in sports, Moneyball. Now, I know that the film took a lot of license, Hollywoodized things a bit, but there's one thing in there where Billy Beane is trying to teach his assistant how to fire players. And he basically just says, when he first asks the guy, how would you fire a player? And the guy's like, we really like you, and, we hope everything works out. He's talking the guy up just to knock him down. And he said, no. You just tell them, hey, listen, we got to let you go. So-and-so will handle the particulars. Good luck. And he was like, really? Just like that? And he's like, just like that. And what he said to the guy was, would you rather get 7 shots to the body and die slowly, or 1 shot to the head that takes you out quickly? And of course, the guy's response was, are those my only 2 options? But he was trying to make a point that you just be honest. You just cut them. And he said they're professional ball players. They can handle it. Now, baseball has a very thorough grooming process. So players are familiar with this from the time they're young. Combat sports, in my opinion, is a little different, especially nowadays, where as coaches, we got to compete for dollars in the gyms, in the United States anyway. And, we're trying to keep our clientele high. It's not like having a team where, you're guaranteed X amount of players every day, every week. It changes. It varies week to week. So I think a lot of coaches have formed habits of like not always telling their athletes what they're in store for. And at least for me, in my experience, my athletes are a lot more tighter knit with each other and a lot more close to me because I don't do that. Like, if there's a day where they're going to spar and they're sparring somebody that's good, I tell them, hey, you're in deep today. You're in deep today. And I'll go as far as to tell them, don't expect to get a lot done. You're probably not going to be able to do a lot with this person. They're better than you. They're more experienced. They're stronger, bigger, faster, whatever. But this is what we're going to work on. And we at the very least have like a basic game plan, like a basic, this is how we're going to approach the situation. That tends to go a lot further than just kind of throwing them in there. And I say that from experience because that happened to me. When I was at Top Rank Gym, under the first coach I had when I got to Vegas, he would just throw me in. And a lot of people say that they cut their teeth like that. But the truth of the matter is I'm a lot more of a cerebral person. It's like, you have to give me an idea what I'm doing. If you don't and then blame me, I'm not going to like you. Like that's not going to make me loyal to you. And in fact, I was only with them for about 3 months before I switched, where I was like, this guy's he's not going to get me anywhere. Like I'm not dumb enough to be trained by a guy like this or inherently skilled enough in terms of like, I've already been instructed on the basic level all the way up until this point to where even if this guy says something stupid, I could just ignore it. And, I'll still be able to hold my own. Admittedly, I wasn't on that level when I got here. So even though I did end up fending for myself a lot, and I mean, there was a sparring session where I sparred without him because before that, the session before that, I sparred the same guy and he was insulting me the whole time, telling me that I couldn't spar. And like, he was saying stuff in the gym that as a coach, you just shouldn't say. So when I came to the gym the next time, I actually, I went to the same guy and I was like, hey, let's get some rounds in. And he was like, all right, cool. And I did better the second time and actually ended up impressing the coach. But, he put himself in that position to almost lose me at that exact moment. I mean, he eventually did, but he could have just been a lot more real with, okay, if you're assessing my skill level and you know that I'm not up to par with that level of a person, tell me that between you and me, and then tell me what I need to work on when I get in there with them. Don't just, like I said, he just threw me in and was just like, do what you can. Well, I don't know what I can do. Fighters are not always fully capable of that. They're just kind of like going moment to moment. So, again, like, I don't want us as coaches to feel like we can't be honest and have that be like a baseline policy. Now I know there's a lot of coaches that think of themselves in that way, but think about how you're really approaching each session in terms of like, if you know that person's even a little bit better than they are, let them know. Let them know. Give them that information. Like, trust them with that information. Trust them so that they can trust you. Trust them with saying, hey, look, you're up against it, or even giving them, there have been times where my guys get matched against a person with more experience, and I'll ask them, rather than just tell them, hey, you're going to fight this person who has like 10 more fights than you, hey, this is the match they have for you. I think you can handle it, but ultimately it's up to you. And some of them have said that they didn't want to at the time, which is fine. So I just wanted to put that out there. A baseline realism about the challenges they face. That'll really go a long way in terms of keeping them wanting to know more from you and learn more from you. All right. Thanks, y'all. Have a good one. Talk to you next time.